Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. So Bitcoin, guys, this is Bitcoin on the daily. Not doing too much, still the same pattern. Look at this holding pattern. We've been in it now since the beginning of May, so almost a month and a half. And we're not seeing a lot of volume. We're not seeing any sharp moves up, nor are we seeing any sharp moves down. We still have to break that $10,500 mark. What is not looking great for bulls is that this looks to me like it's forming a bearish pennant, which is denoted by a strong move down followed by a weak move up. And guys, that is mirrored here down here with the volume, strong bearish volume with this large red candlestick over here. And then declining green positive volume. Other than this one here, get the cursor out of the way there. This one here is slightly larger, but you can see here in the candlestick here that the opening of the candle wasn't necessarily that far below the closing, which makes it a green candlestick in effect. But look at that wick. That wick is fairly long, which means there still is a lot of bearish pressure. So I wouldn't be surprised if this trend moved downward. Okay, we've been trying to hit that $10,500 mark for a while now, and it's still not piercing that level of resistance. So chances are we are going to move down. We've got XRP here still doing the same kind of thing. XRP trading right now at 0.194, and VChain looking like it's trading at 0.0091, so not too much, a bit of indecisiveness with the VChain chart, although VChain's looking like this is making a head and shoulders pattern. Okay, so we'll probably see a decline for VChain. When we see Bitcoin drop, same with XRP, we'll see a decrease or a decline, a bearish trend for XRP as well once we see Bitcoin drop. That's not to say, though, that people aren't feeling bullish about crypto. Guys, I'm looking at these trends on the daily, but overall, the trend is, especially for Bitcoin, the trend is still moving up. We had this anomaly, this sell-off in mid-March because of the pandemic, because of the sell-off in the stock market, and Bitcoin was mirroring that. But ultimately, we were seeing positive pressure up for cryptos. Whoops, got to get it off that. Positive pressure up for cryptos, positive pressure up. Then we saw this anomaly and still continuing with positive pressure up. So crypto is looking bullish as a whole, and Bitcoin whales have moved $73 million in Bitcoin as the population of whales hits levels not seen since 2017. So what they're noticing in the space, other than the fact that large quantities of Bitcoin are being transferred from wallet to wallet, and we tend to see this when we are presuming that a pop will occur, what they're also seeing is that the level of whales have increased. So new numbers from crypto analytics firm Glassnode shows the number of Bitcoin whales in existence has reached levels not seen since late 2017, a few months before the top cryptocurrency hit its all-time high of just over 20,000 per BTC. So here's a quote: "Despite the volatile market movements of 2020, the number of Bitcoin whales has been growing near consistently since January, with a current value of 1,882 entities holding at least 1,000 Bitcoin. Perhaps more interestingly, the first time we saw this many whales was back in March 2016 when Bitcoin was still under $420 per BTC. So despite the fact that Bitcoin is having a hard time breaking through this ceiling, and you got to remember 10,000 is also that psychological barrier, so getting through that is not going to be easy. It is going to be a feat. We need to have buyer confidence, enough buyers to say, yep, we feel confident that Bitcoin should be above 10,000 and therefore I will pay that price for Bitcoin. But right now it's hovering just under that price. So investors are still happy with paying under that $10,000 per BTC price. Nevertheless, it is interesting to see that there are more Bitcoin hodlers holding at least 1,000 BTC than ever before, or rather than since 2017 during the last bull run. Something interesting to keep an eye on. Guys, I saw this from Michael at Val5Links on Twitter, and this with regards to Coinbase. So we've talked about Coinbase in the past, and the saga continues. Coinbase users removed over $200 million worth of BTC from US-based digital currency exchange after it offered to license its analytics platform to the IRS and the DEA. So not a great move for Coinbase. Although they want to keep compliant, they are a business like any other business, like Ripple. I'd be a hypocrite if I said they shouldn't be compliant. So they're doing the right thing. But the outcome is that people are removing their cryptocurrency from the Coinbase exchange. So after Coinbase offered to license its analytics platform to the Internal Revenue Agency and the Drug Enforcement Administration, the users of the exchange removed over $200 million worth of Bitcoin. The exchange claims that it will only be providing the IRS and DEA with streamlined access to publicly available data. However, according to the exchange, they won't have access to any internal or customer data. This is what they say. The users feel like their privacy is being violated or might be violated if the deal with the federal agencies push through. And some in the crypto community questioning Coinbase's loyalty to its customers. A Twitter user with the username CADog tweeted that Coinbase is trying to be like Google by profiting off their customers' data. He goes on to say that they deleted their Coinbase account. The US-based crypto exchange's users were increasingly becoming frustrated with the digital currency exchange before it made the government an offer during periods when crypto assets saw large price swings in a matter of seconds and minutes, and the platform would often crash and be unusable. So yeah, Coinbase is riddled with problems, and its users just aren't having any of it. And guys, this is why I say have a few exchanges on hand. You know, I would even say 3 or 4 different ones, because if you are planning on seeing profits like I am, you are likely going to want to cash out of those profits. And I've been hearing now in the news, where did I read it? I don't remember. I don't have it on the screen, but I read somewhere that if you try to cash out more than $1 million in crypto, they will indeed freeze your bank account. So another thing maybe is to think about is to open up a few checking accounts at a few different banks and link some various different cryptocurrency exchanges to those bank accounts just so you don't get frozen out. Okay, I've heard that. I already have one extra account that I'm using now, and I think I might open more. Here's another tip, pro tip. Don't have any of your cryptocurrency exchanges linked to the checking account or whatever account you use to pay your bills, because if that account does get frozen and your mortgage payment doesn't go through, your car payment, what have you, you could be in a lot of trouble. So just wanted to mention that out there. Guys, I do have a Binance affiliate link in the description of every video. If you do not have a Binance account and are looking to open one, you can use my affiliate link. You do not have to. I like Binance personally. There are a multitude of options out there, and there are so many different people from different countries who might want to use a different exchange for different reasons. So if you are finding other options in your country, you might want to use that, and that's fine too. Just make sure they're reputable, because there are a lot of scammy exchanges out there. Just do your research, guys, the same way you do research for cryptocurrency. Do your research, look up reviews, get on Twitter, Reddit, see what other people are saying about said cryptocurrency exchanges. Anyway, you know the drill. I saw this article here, guys, and this is from XRP Researcher at XRP News _ on Twitter, and he has this website here, xrprightnow.com. It's a great website, and he posts some great stuff. Ripple partner TransferGo raises $10 million in funding. So you know TransferGo, they are a Ripple partner. They're a London-based remittance outfit, and they have raised $10 million in a funding round led by Seventure and Vostok Emerging Finance, according to TechCrunch. So the firm, which now claims more than 2 million users, is also launching in 11 new countries, including Ghana, Japan, Saudi Arabia, and Singapore. TransferGo has seen its customer list double since partnering with Ripple in 2018. And its CEO tells TechCrunch that the company has seen growth of 30%. Yes, 30% during the beer flu lockdown. So although, the economy isn't looking too hot, these fintech companies are actually seeing growth 30% during the beer flu lockdown. So TransferGo provides services to 47 countries in 22 different currencies. And here's where companies like TransferGo are seeing their business increase, with footfall decreasing dramatically in high street financial services companies. Anyone looking to send money abroad to friends and family have become reliant on digital-first money transfer services. That from the CEO of TransferGo. In 2018, TransferGo partnered with Ripple, as we all remember, on a program to help Indian migrant workers send money home to their families faster than ever. Today, the company can transfer funds from a sender in Europe to a recipient bank in India in just a few minutes. So this is the kind of technology that is backed by Ripple that is changing lives. and they just raised another $10 million in funding. So that's all great news. I wanted to thank the creator of XRPRightNow.com, XRP researcher at XRP News _ on Twitter, posting great information all the time, bringing this TransferGo news to our attention. Amazing. Guys, this from the XRP Arcade, Leonidas on Twitter. 5 new Ripple customers are revealed. 17 are now running on the cloud. So we heard about Navin Gupta and how he mentioned that Ripple now has 350 customers using RippleNet technology. Well, Ripple has just announced 5 more. The RippleNet cloud service was just revealed a couple of weeks ago, and after it was revealed, they said that 5 new companies are now on RippleNet Cloud, including BC Remit, Spot On Money, Lulu International Exchange, Orbit Remit, and Top Remit. Okay, so 5 new remittance companies on top of the ones that they were already working with, like Azimo, MoneyGram. We know some of these names already. iRemit. But about some of these companies, about BC Remit. BC Remit is an online money transfer service that allows users to send money using their mobile phone, tablet, or laptop PC from the UK to the Philippines. That's one. We got Spot On Money. They're an established and respected independent foreign exchange specialist. We got Lulu International Exchange. They're a leading name in the world of non-banking finance, dealing primarily in foreign exchange and global money transfer. We got Orbit Remit. They're a global foreign exchange service regulated and authorized by the Financial Conduct Authority, the FCA, in the United Kingdom to provide money remittance and payment services under the PSD, the Payment Services Directive. And finally, Top Remit, guys. Even though we revealed that Top Remit was a Ripple customer back in January, so apparently they were already revealed, it was never officially announced by Ripple until now. Top Remit is an Indonesian money transfer company that was founded in 2009 and received the award for the best money transfer provider in Indonesia for 2019. Another hint here, Top Remit also attended Swell back in 2019, November 2019. For those of you guys putting the pieces of the puzzle together, connecting the dots. So now it's official though, 5 new Ripple customers revealed, 17 running on the cloud. Thanks so much to Leonidas for posting that. Guys, you should also be aware of what's going on online. A public service announcement here. This is still going on apparently. Elaborate XRP scam claims Ripple giving away 3 billion XRP. So despite the fact that Brad Garlinghouse has called out YouTube for cracking down on these scams, they apparently are not. So I just wanted to bring this to your attention. Apparently there is this another scam where they're saying they're giving away 3 billion XRP where the scammers claim to be Ripple. They send small amounts of XRP to your ledger with a memo that reads, starting February 1st, Ripple is releasing 3 billion XRP to incentivize network users. Get 25% more added to your bank account. Guys, this is all just crap. Don't fall for it. Here's a link here to a Coil blog with some screen grabs of what some of these websites look like. They look fairly official. Ripple Community Support Outreach Program with a register button. So do not click on this kind of thing. I don't know about this one in particular, but some of these can steal your information. So, just a bit of a public service announcement here. Here's another one here. Stimulus package launched for XRP hodlers in order to mitigate the economic downturn. Register. So, Ripple is not giving away XRP to you guys. And always take a look at the domains. The domains are not the official domains, but homoglyph domains. A homoglyph is a character that can be substituted for another, making it more difficult to quickly spot. So, keep an eye on this. Ripple with a little slash over the I, for example. Or if you see 2 dots over the E, that is not an official domain. So just double check the domains, guys, if you happen to be by some of these websites. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. If you have to send money to participate, or even worse, send your account information and secret keys, just don't do it. I know we all want to boost up our XRP positions, but this is not the way to do it, guys. And always keep your crypto safe. I keep mine on a Ledger Nano S. That is the safest way. Do not keep it on the exchanges because exchanges are prone to hacks as well. I have an affiliate link in the description. You can use it if you want. You do not have to use it if you do not want to. Just make sure, please, 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 keep your cryptocurrency safe. The last thing you want is for that bull run to occur and somebody to hack all your crypto, to take all your hard-earned crypto. The crypto that you've been waiting so long to cash out all of a sudden disappears because the exchange you were keeping your crypto on got hacked. It's the last thing you want. We got another one from Michael here on Twitter at Val5Links. This has to do with the Blockstars podcast, Brianne Madigan was on with David Schwartz the other day, and they were talking about deep liquidity and why it's key for institutional investment in the blockchain. And Michael actually quoted a really interesting quote here from Brianne Madigan. We're going to get to it. Let's take a look at this article. So, of course, they were on the podcast, and they talk about the risk of soaring inflation. Brianne believes that the risk of soaring inflation that may result from ongoing government stimulus to stabilize and revive the post-pandemic economy makes decentralized digital assets more attractive to investors. This is why you and I invest in crypto. Here's a quote. We've got financial analysts now recommending digital assets as a hedge against central bank manipulated fiat currency. Coinbase and Gemini got their accounts approved by JP Morgan Chase. Hedge fund managers Paul Tudor Jones announced that close to 2% of his funds assets are in Bitcoin. We've had a particularly monumentous series of headlines that will drive institutional adoption. But Brianne acknowledges that the true mainstream institutional adoption of digital assets will require greater liquidity. She outlines 4 primary attributes of liquidity, including tightness of the costs between buys and sells, resilience to market shocks, breadth of trading instruments, and order book depth. Assets with deep liquidity tend to trade with greater frequency, and investors have an easier time getting over the hurdle of taking liquidity risk, she says. Having a real use case improves liquidity significantly, as does increasing accessibility by creating more ways to trade the asset to support the use case. So a big, glowing endorsement for cryptocurrency as a whole, but also XRP. It is that liquid asset. That's what Ripple is striving to do, to make it liquid enough so that it can be used. It can solve a problem in real world situations. And now more and more people are coming out and saying that because of this government stimulus, this is going to cause big problems. And so I was doing some more research, and I thought to myself, could the writing already be on the wall? Well, I know for some of us it already is. But even for the government, will the government let us know? Maybe kind of gently hint towards, hey, look, maybe this is what you should be doing because what we're doing is kind of shady and you guys should be prepared for that. It's kind of a weird situation we're in, but I wouldn't put it past the US government. So it's always good to see what they're doing. Also, they don't want their people to suffer. So maybe, cryptocurrency regulations and the fact that banks are now allowing cryptocurrency to be part of their hedge funds is speaking volumes, especially to Wall Street investors who can already read between the lines, but also to you and me, guys. So do the governments already know that there might be a run on the banks? And are they hinting at the fact that you need to prepare yourself without going outright and saying it to scare the mass population? I've got a few hints later on in the video that could possibly hint towards that. We're going to get to that in a sec. But I wanted to continue on here, guys. This from Rob Cash at Rob_Cash71 on Twitter. This a VChain article. No hate because I have Ethereum. But for those that doubt VChain, well, here you go. And this is an article here. Report. Deloitte says VChain Corda more complete than Ethereum, apparently. So after partnering with VChain in 2019, Deloitte, yes, Deloitte, that big company that you all know, one of the big 4 auditing firms and the world's largest professional service network, said it migrated from the Ethereum blockchain network to the VChain Thor blockchain. In a recent report tagged 5 blockchain trends for 2020, Deloitte opined that VChain is a leading blockchain network in the industry, adding that VChain and other open source blockchain platforms for business, Corda, are more complete than Ethereum. So taking a bit of a stab at Ethereum and pointing out that VChain is actually more complete than Ethereum. So Deloitte made the illustration while comparing VChain, Ethereum, and Corda. The auditing firm illustrated that unlike Ethereum, VChain and Corda networks have high security. Deloitte also confirmed that VChain and Corda's scalability are better than Ethereum's. However, Ethereum offers high decentralization that is unmatchable for the other two, the report added. So part of the report down here, just wanted to bring you this VChain news for those of you guys excited about VChain. Maybe if you hold an Ethereum position, might be good to note this as well. So thanks so much, Rob Cash, for pointing that out. I'm going to continue moving along, guys, with this from Martin Volk, food for thought. High volume, low value payments. And we heard about the WhatsApp deal with Facebook Visa in Brazil. And Martin points out WhatsApp has more than 2 billion active users in 180 countries. Now, we know that this is only happening in Brazil right now, but just think about that for a second. 2 billion active users on WhatsApp. And even though they're just working to roll this out in Brazil as of now, they're planning on scaling up, and could this change the face of payments? Well, we talked about it a little yesterday, but we also know Ripple specifically has said that they are also focused on high volume, low value payments. Some people are questioning it down here. ITB1 says, isn't this Libra? Martin responds, nope, Libra does not exist. Libra is a completely other ball of yarn that they're working on. Mula H responds down here, another food for thought. There's already something called WhatsApp banking in Nigeria in banks since 2018. Watch that space. So I didn't know about that. They could be retooling that WhatsApp banking system and putting it on the blockchain now. So I'm just reading down here, and a few people confused. They already associate Facebook with Libra, but this isn't Libra. This is something else. I think what Martin's pointing out is that high volume, low value payments, this is the name of the game. This is the space Ripple's in. We know Visa's also partnered with Ripple through the Earthport connection. We know Facebook is developing Libra, at least they say they are. Production could have stopped in the background, although I don't know one way or the other if they have or not, but it looks to me that Martin's on the right track here. 2 billion active users in 180 countries. High volume. This is where liquidity is going to be needed, right? Going back to this Blockstars podcast with Brianne Madigan and David Schwartz. Liquidity. And this is where we're going to see the liquidity, guys. And did you see this? So I bring this up every now and then, and the chart goes up and down and up and down. This is the XRP Rich List. These are the statistics. Ledger.exposed is the domain name. And you guys can see here the 0.01% has now increased yet again. So the threshold for the 0.1% of accounts is just over 24 million XRP. And back on March 25th, it was at 23.2 million XRP. So that threshold now to become part of the 0.01% has grown by just about a million XRP. That means the top 0.1% are accumulating. Some of these other numbers are going down a bit, so the 0.1% has actually gone down a little. Same with the 0.2%. The 0.5% gone up a little, but look at these ones, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. All these numbers have slightly increased, and you can see that on the chart. So more people are accumulating XRP other than the 0.1, 0.2, and 0.5%. The number that really excites me, though, is the 0.01%. These people aren't messing around. If you hold 24 million plus XRP, chances are you're a Wall Street investor or a small to medium remittance company. You understand the benefits, and you're hodling XRP because, like you and I, you're waiting for cryptocurrency regulatory clarity and real-world adoption so that you can do business seamlessly and easily. These are the numbers that really get me excited. Nevertheless, we are seeing lots of people accumulating crypto. This is a very uncertain time right now. There were a lot of accumulators back in mid-March when we saw this dip. We're rallying back up. Could we see another dip before we make new highs? This is the question that's still on everybody's mind. Although it does excite me to see that the 0.01% of XRP hodlers in the world have accumulated almost 1 million XRP more in order to stay in that 0.01% category 3 months later. The more XRP moving around in the ecosystem, the more liquidity, which is better for Ripple, better for the cryptocurrency, better for utility, better at solving problems, better for demand, and guys, better for price. XRP_Canada here brought this to my attention, so I got to thank you, buddy, at XRP_Canada on Twitter. Ripple makes CNBC's Disruptor Top 50 list. That's right, guys, from CNBC. These are the top 50 CNBC disruptor companies of the year 2020. So this is the 8th annual Disruptor list, and CNBC identifies private companies whose breakthroughs are influencing business and market competition at an accelerated pace. They are poised to emerge from the beer flu pandemic with tech platforms that have the power to dominate. Okay? The startups making the 2020 Disruptor list are at the epicenter of a world changing in previously unimaginable ways, turning ideas in cybersecurity, education, health IT, logistics delivery, fintech, and agriculture into a new wave of billion-dollar businesses. And guys, Ripple makes the 28th spot here on the list. A crypto answer to money transfer. Somebody else mentioned on Twitter that I believe that they are the only cryptocurrency company on the list. I don't know about the only blockchain company, but the only company that is looking to use a cryptocurrency as an answer for something, solving a problem with cryptocurrency. So hodling XRP, guys, seems like a no-brainer to me. We got some other companies on the list that I'm sure we've heard of. DoorDash is one. Where did I see? I think Airbnb is on here as well. Robinhood, new bull market makers coming in at number 46. So we have a few down here. Stripe, also a payment payments company unlocking the lockdown's biggest value. So some names here that we recognize, others that we don't know yet, but are probably going to make waves in the 2020s and beyond. Ripple included, guys. Ripple included. And so, when I was talking about the government hinting towards the economy maybe being a little bit shaky for the foreseeable future, to put it mildly, and maybe kind of gently pushing its citizens to, hey, look, cryptocurrency exists, and now these banks are, allowing you to have Bitcoin in your hedge fund, and you can add Bitcoin into your 401k, or at least a product that is indexed to Bitcoin. So I saw this from Val5 Links on Twitter. The IMF forecasts in April a contraction of 3% for the global economy in 2020. This from just yesterday, guys. The IMF forecasts in April a contraction of 3% for the global economy in 2020. It said the current crisis is unlike anything the world has seen before. The fund noted that the services industry has been more severely impacted than manufacturing, which represents a change from previous crises where a lack of investment hit manufacturing activity the hardest. So the global economy is on track for a more significant contraction than the International Monetary Fund estimated back in April, the institution's chief economist said Tuesday. When European countries were in the first weeks of lockdown, the IMF said the global economy would suffer the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression of the 1930s. At the time, it forecast a contraction by 3% in 2020. Now, despite some economies beginning to reopen, the fund has warned that the decline could be even worse. For the first time since the Great Depression, both advanced and emerging market economies will be in recession in 2020. The forthcoming June World Economic Outlook update is likely to show negative growth rates even worse than previously estimated. Okay, guys, this coming from the IMF, and they already predicted that it would be bad. But now they're predicting it is going to be worse than originally thought back in April. We're seeing emerging beer flu cases in China right now. The United States is still seeing a lot of cases as well. And although some countries are managing the beer flu crisis better than others, let's put it, the biggest economies in the world, the United States and China, still are having significant problems with this outbreak. So could the government know something that we don't know? Well, guys, I wanted to point this out, and it was just a small, little, maybe some may say insignificant tweet, but it's from a very significant guy in the space, the blockchain backer at BC Backer on Twitter. This is what he says. He's a coin collector. He goes to the banks and buys rolls of coins because he's interested in finding rare coins. That aside, here's what he said. Multiple branches of multiple major national banks have reported to me that the Federal Reserve emailed them yesterday and today limiting weekly supplies of coins to 1 box per denomination per week. Then he says local business needs far exceed this supply limitation. Why would the Federal Reserve be limiting monetary supply to banks at 1 box of coins in this case per week? Are they limiting other types of maybe bill denominations as well? He doesn't mention that here, but it's an interesting question to ask. Does this mean there is going to be a limited supply of cash on hand at any given bank at any given time? Which then begs the question, and Mogul in the Woods points it out right here, when run on the banks? Because if this is a reality, if this is a fact, people are going to be racing to their local branch and trying to take out as much cash as possible to hedge themselves, or rather safeguard themselves, against a floundering economy. Genome33 points out, saw this at a grocery store today, beyond, and here's the tweet here, beyond the coin, buy Bitcoin at this kiosk. Now we're seeing this at grocery stores. Trade your money for cryptocurrency. Very interesting to point out as well. So does the government know something we don't know? I wanted to thank Blockchain Backer for posting that, because this is important stuff, guys. We have to be prepared. Maybe the Fed's going through the coins to look for silver first. Some people are pointing out a push for a cashless society, says the Denarian. Guys, nothing is off the table, and it is possible that the US government could realize, probably do realize, that what they are doing is going to cause a major problem down the road. They are kind of gently pushing you guys and me towards cryptocurrency through bank solutions. Luckily, you and I are already in crypto and have fairly hefty positions by now, I'm sure. The crypto whales are realizing it. The intelligent investors in the crypto space are realizing it. The question is, when could this run on the banks occur? Could it be later this year? Could it be early next year? Will this cause a Bitcoin bull run? We saw it in 2013 with the runs on the banks in Cyprus when the Bitcoin market cap wasn't that large. Bitcoin shot in 2013 to crazy highs. It was trading below $10 and then all the way up to $1,170 by the end of 2013. Are we going to see the same kind of outcome but on a greater scale? It certainly is possible. Anyways, that's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.